Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to check a fresh release from Tamiya, and this kit was actually bought with your help, with your donations, and I would like to say thank you because this is something what I wouldn't be able to get without your help. And as you can see, it's a German Sd.Kfz.2 Kettenkraftrad mid production in 1/35 scale. It should be an interesting diorama kit because as you can see we have not only Kettenkraftrad but also some figures included, so it should be interesting to assemble them all together. And as far as I know, this is a completely new plastic, so it's not an old release which was available before. Now we have a retooled version, so there should be more features, and that's why I decided to get it and check it together with you. And of course this is a final release because I bought it, and you can see that we have a typical Tamiya box design. So we have 3 figures and Kettenkraftrad on the box art. We also have some small information here. Of course it's also written in Japanese there. Next on the side you can see marking option, one of them which is included into this kit, because here we have another one. It's slightly covered with this sticker, but you can guess which color is used. Box design is typical, so if I open it here you can see some checks which were let's say given when I was buying this kit. And as you can see, we have, as usual for Tamiya, all frames are packed into a separate plastic bag, so we are going to open them one by one and check what is actually supplied here. And in the meantime, while I'm opening this first plastic bag with 2 plastic sprues inside, I would like to remind you that if you would like to support us with a small donation, it's quite easy thing to do because we have a support DSV button on our website. Or if you would like to do it even faster, there is a link in the video description, so just click it and you will be redirected to the PayPal gate where you will be able to choose the amount you would like to send us. And all this money will be used in order to get a new photo and video equipment, or maybe also new kits, as you can see right now. So I'm opening the first plastic bag, and here it is. The first plastic sprue, it's not that big. Here you can see comparison with my hand. Let's zoom in a bit, and now you can see that here we have quite an interesting combination, because tracks, they will be assembled out of separate parts, and that's really cool because we are not getting the vinyl parts, we are getting the normal plastic parts, which is really useful for a bit more realistic appearance. Maybe I'll leave it just like this. So we also have a road wheel. This one should be glued out of 2 parts as far as I can guess. So as you can see, you can leave the outer let's say rim part painted separately, and it will give you a nice paint finish without the need to resort to any paint masks. Here we also have some road wheels or tensioners for the tracks, but overall quality looks really good. I can bring closer this road wheel so that you can see what we have. Obviously there are no details on the tire walls. I'm not sure why Tamiya keeps ignoring this, because this is already 2021 and we still get wheels with plain tire walls, and it looks a bit strange even in plastic kit. I mean, come on, for this price I would expect some features on the tire walls. Obviously professional modelers will replace it with resin parts, but I mean, it's already let's say possible with current technologies to achieve such details on small parts, so I do not see any, let's say, excuse why they're not copied here. Okay, next we continue with 2 plastic frames which are packed into the same plastic bag. So first one is here, and you can notice that we have again road wheel, we have also wheel fenders, we also have some tensioners here for the tracked part, and some parts for the, let's say, main hull. Also some engine parts here. So let's zoom in again. Maybe I'll place it like this so that you can see everything closer. We have some suspension parts here. Note also the guiding elements, which will be helpful in order to combine everything together. But overall molding quality is quite standard for Tamiya, so I don't think you should be worried about anything. And it's mostly, I would say, question of the small features which are supplied out of the box. As you can see, even the engine hubs, they have guiding elements which will help you to align everything together. Even the wheel parts, as you can see here, So from this point of view, everything looks cool, but as I said, if you would like to see some minor features copied in your model, you will have to get some aftermarket, because it's still like Tamiya's approach that they do not copy all of the features, but it doesn't mean that model will be ugly. I mean, it just will be a bit less, I would say, finely detailed in comparison with case when you have the PE parts. Next, we have another plastic sprue. Again, we have hull parts here. As you can see, these are separate panels. We also have drive sprockets here, also some parts for the front section and driver's seat. And again, everything looks cool. We even have the handle or steering bar, as you can see, is molded as a single piece part, but I suggest we again zoom in so that you can check everything closer. So here are these parts, and in my opinion, all this stuff which is supplied out of the box, it looks cool. So I'm really let's say hoping that Eduard will come up with some PE parts to upgrade all this stuff, because once you add some fine features here and there, for example, on this steering bar, you will add, for example, the brake and the clutch handles, then it will be completely different appearance straight away. Even though some might say that it's really tiny stuff, but believe me, it will be noticeable. So I will show this through from the opposite side while I'm opening another plastic bag with the last gray plastic sprue, and we will take a closer look together. So just give me a second. And as you can guess, this last plastic sprue is dedicated to figurines. There are 3 of them, and as far as you can see, they are supplied with special stands. This is really interesting. So here you can see this plastic sprue. Let's zoom in a bit so that you can see everything closer. And parts division is standard for 1/35 scale, so let's zoom in. And you can see that we have separate legs, hands, and one-piece torso. Also one-piece head is here. Note that helmet is molded separately. The same can be said about other guys, well, except of the torso. As you can see, torso should be glued out of 2 halves. We have, I think, yeah, there are these small tabs in the middle, which will help you with alignment. But the external features, they look fine. Tamiya recently improved quality of their figures, so as you can see, everything is sculpted in a proper quality. We also have some machine guns and rifles here, some Pioneer tools, and these are the figure stands which I was mentioned before. So here you can see them from the opposite side. I'm not sure if they will be needed if you will be building some, let's say, diorama with this kit. But still, it is really interesting inclusion, so it's not something what I'm, let's say, criticizing. Maybe some others will be happy to get it in order to place figurines beside the Kettenkraftrad. Now I am opening another plastic bag. This one is unfortunately sealed, so I have to cut through it, and I have to do it carefully because sealing is done on really precise, I would say, border. So now from my side I have to do it carefully in order not to damage the backing paper for decals. Okay, so what do we have here is the Decal Sheet, and there is quite impressive Decal Sheet. Here you can see it. A lot of symbols, a lot of decals. Well, no, because we have only dials for the various gauges on this Kettenkraftrad, and that's pretty much all. There is nothing on the opposite side, obviously. But we have quite unusual thing included. That's the tiny PE thread. As you can see, it carries various meshes for this Kettenkraftrad, and that's really cool bonus because we are all used to see the, let's say, not empty, but Tamiya kits without any PE accessories, but here we get at least such tiny piece included. Next, we continue with background information. This is a separate brochure. Traditionally for Tamiya it is printed in color, so that's why we have here a short scheme which should be a bit self-explanatory in order to understand what is what. And by the way, the PE thread will be used here. Next we continue with the marking guides. So there are 2 marking options applied, and we also have separate marking guide for the trailer, obviously, and here we have some text in Japanese. Okay, next we have another traditional thing, tech tips, nothing special. So we can move straight on to the German Kettenkraftrad assembly manual. I was just reading what is written here. So here we have on the first page no history note, because as you remember it was printed on the separate brochure, but we have some safety advices, we also have recommended tools, and then straight away assembly process starts. So as usual, layout for Tamiya is quite recognizable. Maybe I'll close the camera a bit. So everything starts with the main hull. As you can see, it should be assembled out of separate panels. There is also a special bending jig so that you can get these P parts into the right shape, which is quite cool bonus, to be honest. Next we continue by installing this engine bay cover, and you proceed with some seat parts. As you can see, they get assembled here and there. And next we start assembling the engine. So I would bet that all the PE aftermarket accessories will be actually targeted on this thing, because it would be a shame to have just a plain engine out of the box. At least some wiring would be cool to add, maybe some brake lines, maybe something else. I have to consult with some reference photos. And next we continue with the drivetrain. So we assemble drive sprockets and assemble tracks around them. As you remember, we have plastic tracks, so that's really cool because it will be a bit more realistic appearance on your model. And next we install all this stuff on the main hull. As you can see, tracks will be assembled together with road wheels. Then you assemble the front fork for this Kettenkraftrad with wheel. As you can see, so basically you will have to worry about both sides of the wheel in case of the front wheel. So here masks are necessary, and it would be really interesting how you would overcome this. Next we continue with this front fork and steering bar, and here we start assembling the trailer. So trailer should be quite simple because we assembled it out of separate panels. As you can see, it will be covered with a tarpaulin, so there is nothing to show inside. Basically it's just a, let's say, container. And then we start working on figures. One of the figures can be sitting on the Kettenkraftrad, and two others can be standing beside, just like on the box art. But in my opinion, it's more than enough for out of the box supply, and not that many kits actually provide that many bonuses out of the box. So all in all, we get a really interesting tiny kit in 1/35 scale. So if you would like to build a new Kettenkraftrad, definitely check it out. Or if you would like to build it in a bit more detailed way, definitely wait for some goodies from Edward. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about this release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And if you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.